Hello, this is Joshua for Frost Dragon Designs, and today I'd like to talk to you about my Fenny Snake Cat Witch Heart Enamel pin. This pin is part of my Three Weird Sisters collection. Now let's get into the design. So this pin design, along with two of the others from the Three Weird Sisters collection, are interesting because they are both my 2023 Witch Cat pins, and they are also part of my Black Cat RPG universe. Every year since I have been in business, I have had a Kickstarter campaign for cat witches. This has become a yearly tradition, and it's part of the reason why there is a fourth pin design in this collection called the Little Sisters, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Fenny Snake Witch, but it's also about the cauldron, because these three witch cats, the Fenny Snake, the Newt, and the Frog, they were inspired by the three weird sisters from Macbeth. You know, and there's the very famous scene where they're around the bubbling cauldron and, they're mixing a potion, casting a spell, double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of Fenny Snake in the cauldron, boil and bake. And that line right there is what this pin design was inspired by. She has her Fenny Snake. That would mean a snake that lives in like a swampy area. They're typically striped. And she's about to, toss it in to the cauldron. But this might not have actually been an actual snake. There is also a plant called the Indian turnip, which is also known as snake meat. So you could understand how they could say a fillet of Fenny Snake, and they actually meant the Indian turnip, which happens to grow in fens or bogs. For the purpose of this pin, though, I chose to illustrate it as a literal Fenny Snake. Now, the rhyme goes on to list Eye of Newt and Toe of Frog, which are two of the other pin designs for this grouping, and they will each get their own design video, but this video is specifically about the Fenny Snake Witch and the cauldron. I think this is kind of interesting because all three of the pins together are really, the whole scene of the witches by the cauldron. So the cauldron is like a really important set piece for the whole grouping of three pins. And this was kind of something new for me because most of my pins can stand on their own. They don't need any other pins for it to fully make sense. But I really did intend these three witches, the Three Weird Sisters, to be a trio. I do not intend for these to ever be available as individual pins because they are a group and they were designed that way. So, something that'll be interesting if you watch all three design videos for the Three Weird Sisters is you'll notice even by the end of this video, this witch does not take her final form in this video. And that's because I took this design as far as I could, and then I started working on one of the other sisters. And how I did the designs on the other two sisters started impacting how I did this design. So there was kind of this bouncing back and forth that I got to. And so each of the designs ended up influencing the others. A major way that they were influencing each other ended up being the color scheme. And, I'm really happy with the color palette that I ended up with, but it was a huge struggle while I was working on it. I wasn't sure, at first I thought maybe the smoke coming out of the cauldron was going to be purple. I think by the end of this video, it's like an ugly muted green kind of color. I don't know if I have video of it, but I probably tried about 20 or 30 different colors for the smoke coming out of it before I settled on just the warm grays that I ended up with. But the colors in general was a big challenge for all three of these pins because I needed them to feel harmonious, but I also didn't want it to feel like samey. I didn't want it to feel like it was the same witch three times just holding different animals. So what I ended up doing was using a unique style of clothing for each of the pin designs. And this witch, the Fenny Snake Witch, she's mostly just wearing a hooded robe, and that's the kind of look and feel that we were going for with her. So she's kind of like a witch sorceress kind of look to her. I'm really happy with how the final pin design for this turned out. It does look really good by itself, but it looks so much better with the other two Weird Sisters right alongside it. So if you like seeing this, if you like hearing about it, please go ahead, like and subscribe. At least hang around to see the other two Weird Sisters being designed. And I hope you'll end up staying around even longer than that. I release 1 or 2 videos a week, and love to see you back for the next one. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great rest of your day.